Oh, I hit those. What kind of dog?
We haven't done the genetic test. It looks, I mean, it's a little dog, so it can travel, but it looks like it's probably like a Bichon mix with. I mean, it's a mutt. It's a little white dog. I'm trying to
Oh,
think, but
good.
we think it's got some Maltese and yeah, some other things. We
Oh,
wanted
it's
something that could travel with us.
travel with you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's training it, trying to get it certified.
I couldn't see this dog Lola on the plane. She'd be in first class, obviously. While we were in basic economy. Yeah. Uh, well, we're just going to wait a little bit more, a couple, 2 or 3 minutes.
So, Dave, if you want to do the genetics, how do you actually do the genetics on a dog?
I think it's through. I think it's through Cornell. So they do it. I think it's like
You got to
about
go to
$20
college
or
first, and then
something.
you get there.
No, you send them. They have a test kit. I think it's something you can do yourself. They do the analysis, and you can also get their age
Yeah.
because yeah, we found out a lot of rescue puppies. They'll
I'll
tell
give it
you it's like 8.
basic description.
Yeah, of like their genetic history. Yeah, it was Paul talking to someone else.
How you doing, Roz?
Hmm.
Right? Good. I
But they
haven't.
can also do their age. I think they do it through something about telomeres and tau tangles. But a lot of people did it, and they said they told us our puppy was probably a
No,
puppy
no,
and
no,
he's eight
no.
years
Yeah.
old. Or they told us he was 10, and it ends up he's 10 months old instead of 10. So they can be wildly off, even the
Has
vets,
the
on their age.
armadillo. Uh,
But you'd make a different medical decision for a 14-year-old dog as a 4-year-old dog. So we want to know. Yeah. Some
all right. Well, listen, I think we'll start then. Uh, we have a visitor here, and we're gonna just do the basic uh presentation of non-duality. So non means not, obviously. Yeah. So when non is placed before something, it's negating that something. Yeah. So not non-peaceful would be it's not peaceful. Yeah. So non-duality is a negation of duality. Now, what's duality? Duality is a way of interpreting what we see. And in some sense, some people believe that this is a dreaming. So that which we're seeing has been projected from where we are, and we are in a state of dualism, in a sense. Yeah. So dualism would be, it can be expressed a lot of ways, but one of the basics is subject object. Yeah, so there's the subject and the object is a dualistic uh, presentation. And if you see yourself and listen to the head, which you can't help really because you're awake, so the head sometimes talks as if you're the thinker of thoughts. Yes, that would be the subject. Or sometimes you're that which is thought about, which is the object. Yeah. So the system that we're representing in a vision, you see it as a singularity, a body, but the system is dualism. Yeah. So there's a sense of being the object, and then the subject's talking about it, and sometimes it's a subject talking about other objects. Yes. But this subject object sense is what gets negated by this message. That's simple. It doesn't go that deep. It just goes to what you can recognize easily here and then negating it. Yeah. Not killing it, not squashing it, not vanquishing it, not uh, sending it anywhere, just a negation, because in a weird way, we're affirming something that isn't true constantly. Yeah. Like there's a book called The Course in Miracles that describes it well. Because if you went up to someone right now and, said, are you in the act of denial of what you are? Probably no person is going to say, you caught me. I'm in the act of denial of what you are. But in a sense, from this view of the Course of come on, honey. this view of the Course in Miracle is the the idea that we're a thing, yeah, and a thing that is a long-lasting, independent, separate thing. That idea that we live from every day, seemingly, is a denying of what we are. Yeah. And so if that's true, then why would you want to use that which is affirming what you're not to look for what you are? Obviously, its program is to affirm what you're not. Yes, this is the point of non-duality. It's a simple understanding for a cryptic conditions. Yeah. And it just gives you a simple message that what you can see cannot be that which is seen. Yeah. So you're seeing this activity. Oh, it's all right. She's oh yeah. Just put them up, honey, higher. Or give them to me. Yeah, the dog has snuffed out the muffins. Yeah. Yeah, you got to have it. Wow. It's a heavy. These must be organic muffins. These are heavy muffins, man. Jeez. All right, put them here. So, so basically, instead of constantly be looking from something, we're going to look at that, yeah, and just see when someone says whatever can be perceived cannot be that which is perceiving, and you just go to the head. And you'll see the head runs on a completely different idea. It believes that what is perceiving is the perceived, like I'm the one who's seeing. Yeah. But in this message, you're not that one that's seeing. Yeah. The one that's seeing can't be seen. You cannot perceive that which is seen. You can perceive that which is seen, yes, but you cannot perceive that which is seen. And then the head has it the other way. The head says that which can be perceived is what's perceiving. Then an old dude from, he'd be really old now, like 1200 AD, Huang Po came by and he said, hey, whatever can be perceived, meaning everything you can see, yeah, whatever you can perceive cannot be that which is perceiving. Yeah. Why would he have to say that? Because the exact opposite understanding is the basic system that we're relying on. We're relying on that we are what's perceiving the thing, but the thing can only be perceived. It cannot be that which is perceiving. That's an incredible difference. So a lot of stuff we think we start in the morning, but the idea of you has been started way before you become somewhat awake. And now you become awake and you're already standing on a perch. You don't know how you got there, but you think it's the only reliable thing because you're looking from it all day. Non-duality saw it was like an answer to the confusion that actually gets amplified in spirituality, because in the message of non-duality, you are actually what you're looking for. So looking for it would be the exact opposite of that statement, wouldn't it? Yeah. If you are what you're looking for, where would you see a big effect if you got that understanding? The looking for it, obviously. If you are what you're looking for, you'll realize what's keeping that hidden is the looking for it. Yes. So because you're using what you are to look for what you are, coming from this point of what you're not. Yeah. So what you're not is assumed to be you, and then it uses what you are to look for what you are in spirituality, literally. In the way spirituality is presented mostly here, processes and paths, that's what's happening. Yeah. You're using that which you want to find through spirituality to look for spirituality. So what happens if this lands? You'll stop looking for stuff. And even if there's a continual looking for stuff, you recognize it's not you that's looking for it. Because this is a beautiful part. That which is looking for what you are is never going to get that. Yeah, it never is going to get, it's not so. Yeah. So you lose interest in trying to convince what you're not that it is really what you are. You just lose interest in what you're not. And then you find out what you are. It's the other way doesn't work. And that's usually how it works the other way. People find out an idea that I'm not that. And then as you're not, you try to not be what you're not. Yes. And that's more of being what you're not. So this message just it realizes it pulls out a big rug and there's smaller rugs along the way that it pulls out. Yeah. So anytime you start getting like the one who knows it and got it and sees it, the rug gets pulled out. Yeah. And every time something tries to posture up, the rug gets pulled out. And then after a while, you realize not that the rug, please stop pulling the rug out. You realize that which is getting the rug pulled out from underneath it is not you. Yeah. That you have been observing or aware of the rug being pulled out. The reaction was you were the one that was standing on the rug. But now you see the idea of you standing on the rug, getting it pulled out. Yeah. And you're not on a rug, you're before. And then this whacks you, this understanding. And then you see the futility of using the Buddha to seek the Buddha. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Now, the Poopa Scoopa story that we were going to go into will now dovetail beautifully with this. So to get this across, especially I do a lot of stuff in recovery as an action figure. That's the community, the way of life that came about. And you would try to communicate to people at these events. And so in an attempt to communicate to people an idea, we had this idea of being the Poopa Scoopa story, which is, let's say right now we're in a nice place, in our backyard, and there's a lawn. Let's say it was much bigger and more beautiful. And you had this lawn, and every morning you'd jump off the porch with no shoes on, and you'd run in the morning dew and maybe make angel things there. And then one day you jump off the porch and you land in some shit. First thing that has to change is you got to wear boots now or shoes. And then you walk around and there's a lot of shit on your pristine lawn, and you're having like a lawn bowling tournament that weekend, and you have weddings for July and August and all these fucking wine tasting things. Your lawn is a very important part of what you call your life, and you need it to be pristine. And now there's shit everywhere. Yeah. So then you just say, fuck it. You just ignore it, go back in, watch something, go back out. There's more shit. It's really stinking. You can't get enough of those fir trees that you put on the windows. Out. So you start looking around. Jesus, how am I going to get rid of this shit? Yeah. And so he falls upon a commercial Poopa Scoopa. Buy a Poopa Scoopa. And if you get good enough, maybe you can get it like a 4 by 8 foot piece cleared off for a couple of hours of your lovely lawn. All right. That's all right. So you get the Poopa Scooper, and now you've been talking to a lot of people with lawns, and they're all having the same problem. There's a lot of shit occurring. And so we're having little meetings, and people are talking about, I had a great lawn. It was my main financial base. Now I'm living in financial insecurity. I don't know what to do. And hey, listen, we got a new speaker coming in. The miracle of a Poopa Scooper. Okay, Bill, talk about it. Oh, I got my lawn somewhat, and I recommend this. And then the people saw it. Okay, let's buy the Poopa Scooper. And this one guy buys one. Seems to be pretty good, and he gets to speak at these meetings, and he goes on the circuit. And then he has a technique where he can use two at the same time, very fast. And he knows how to dispose of it very quickly. And so this is on YouTube, and he's a big influencer now. He's a circuit speaker. He wrote a book, Mr. Poopa Scooper. He's got autographed models. He's got leather jacket with Master Scooper or whatever there. So, and now he's found a great solution out of the problem. He's got making money, the book's selling well, and it's coming out, On and on. So one day some guy comes and sees him and he says, listen, I heard you have a problem. I said, no, I'm the master of the problem. Don't you understand? I'm Mr. Pooper Scooper. I'm the biggest expert of how to pick up shit as fast as possible in America. I said, okay, bro, but why not just find the dog? Yeah. So the guy gets hit with the truth, in a sense, the Pooper Scooper master gets hit with, hey, if I get rid of the dog, there ain't going to be any shit. Yeah, the shit comes from the dog. So if I get rid of the dog, won't be shit. Wait a minute. I got 500 Pooper Scoopers in my garage. I got to sell. I got 4 leather jackets with Mr. Pooper Scooper. I got some events to speak at. I don't like this fucking message. I like the message about how to pick up the shit, not to find the source of the shit. And that's the reaction of the head. The head's reaction is it's invested now in its solution. So it's not that interested in the solution. Yeah. It wants its solution because there's a lot of you in that solution. But the solution is losing interest in that Mr. Pooper Scooper and stuff like that. So of course, one part of you would love to embrace that message, just get rid of the dog. But a large part of the mental state is not into it because it's invested years of meditation. It's gone to like 20 fucking retreats. It's got friends, and the friends are connected to retreats and on and on and on and on. Yes. So there's an investment in wanting a solution, but keep a little level of the problem constantly going on. Yeah. This message is not that. It doesn't go that way. There isn't any hierarchy. There's no black belts or blue belts. It's a simple invitation that where you stand may not be where you stand. That's simple. So instead of looking at all the problems, you look at the my of problems. Yeah. Instead of trying to harness or direct thoughts by some way, you see, are they yours? Yeah. And feelings obviously aren't facts. That's been proven quite a lot. Even Radiohead proved it in one of their songs. You know, what you feel is not a fact. So, so it just questions the simple starting point we start from instead of commenting on the race. Yeah. Now you may need help as the one that's in the race. Yeah. But the greatest help to me would be realizing you're not the one in the race, tell you the truth. But if there's a huge part of the attention in the one in the race, then and you may need help, then get that help. But this message you can always come back to and see you're not that. And what happens is why everything is attracted to this idea of you is it's the idea of you. Yeah, you don't give a shit. Most people who think they're sensitive, they don't give a shit about others. They're just super sensitive. They're obsessed with themselves. But they think I'm a sensitive person, but they step on everyone else's toes. That sensitivity would have more of a broadband. Yes, it wouldn't be a singularity. It would be, applied to others. So this idea of non-duality is just that, not two. And if you boil down, you do not believe you're in a yes-no world. You don't believe that. Yeah. But we see the world as yes or no, because we are really a subjective experience. You override the reality of this place. You give the reality of this place the meaning it has. Yeah. You and I. So this idea, so here the duality is seen as a dualism, which is the sense of being a subject and an object. And you believe the subject is encased as an object. Yet that subject and object are cut from the same cloth. It's sort of like if you had a doll and in that doll had a voice box on it, like a blow-up doll, and it had a voice box on it, and that voice box, which was attached to the doll, you'd pull the string, it would talk as if it wasn't attached to the doll. It would be like that, which is talking up in your head, and we'd be going, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you." I worked very shortly at a porn shop called the Pink Pussycat Boutique, and this doll with the voice box is what broke the camel's back. I had to quit at that point. I was selling the dolls without the voice box, but once they came with the voice box, and it was like, "I'm a real girl. I love you. I love you. Love you." Sounds like your head in a way. Now, the voice box, which is of the body of the blow up doll, is acting, or the premise is that it isn't. It's like talking. You know what I mean? So it's just insane. So this is what the idea of the subject of the object is not a subject, really. That which is talking about you as an object, implying it's a subject, is not a subject. It is of the object. Yes. So one great master presented as this is a non-existent thing. Yeah. And then when existence moves through it, the something grows on that existence idea, which is this false subject, and now you have an existent thing. Yeah. And the existent thing is talking about itself and about other existent things. Yes. Seeing as if it's seemingly different, but really you're a non-existent thing. And we used an example I had when I was young. When one of my uncles passed away when I was 9, my mom took me to the funeral, and it was an open casket, and she brought me up to say goodbye to Uncle Fred. And when I saw Uncle Fred, the non-existent thing, it was obvious that wasn't Uncle Fred. Yeah, there was a confusion of that which was the existence that enlivened Uncle Fred, and then the thing that the existence moved through. I thought the thing was Uncle Fred, but seeing the thing without Uncle Fredness going on, it was obvious that that wasn't Uncle Fred. So I saw living as if the non-existent thing was an existent thing. That balloon was popped in a nanosecond to my little head, and my head saw that ain't Uncle Fred. Now, it didn't apply it to this. See, this is the dilemma. A lot of people can realize there would be a lady that used to call me and tell me she lost her ego, but everyone else's ego was bothering her. Yes. So this is sort of how it is. So you see, obviously, that ain't Uncle Fred, but you're looking from the idea that this is Paul. Yeah. This in the non-duality view, this is the source of the problem. It's not the thing that's being imposed by problems. It's the source of the problem, this delusion of the non-existent thing taken to be an existent thing. And it says, if this is the case, your spiritual practices are reinforcing the existent thing. In other words, they're not seeing the non-existence of it. How can all that practice destroy it? It actually is reinforcing the mistake. Yeah. So you're attempting to get out of something, but as that's something you're actually trying to get out of. Yeah, it's a sort of a dilemma, and that dilemma became very, very obvious after a while, and it was met with non-duality, basically. Yeah. I'm sure spiritual seeking started before non-duality, but the answer for the flaw, the FLAW of spirituality was non-duality. Yeah. I'm sure people just said, "Oh, here I am. I can easily find what I am," and on and on. And then they ran into some incredible things that wasn't working. And then as things, just like in AA, there wasn't a solution to addiction until like 1935, and put into a book in 39, like a standardized answer to alcoholism. Wasn't. You'd put a person in a fucking asylum or up in the cellar, or, oh, that's just Uncle Bill or whatever. There was no, even in the Psalms in the Old Testament, they're bitching about winos on some Psalms. They just don't know what to do with them. And now there was suddenly at 1935, there was a download and a possibility to be free from that alcoholism became readily available to people, and millions of people have taken advantage of it. Yeah. I would humbly believe in this whole event, something started first and it needed an answer, and the answer was non-duality. So the illusion of spiritual seeking needed an answer, and it wasn't going to be through more spiritual seeking. Yes? The answer wasn't more. It was to look at it from somewhere else. Then what drives that drive to seek and look for it must be a mistake in there. And so let's not direct the message to that mistake. We're going to actually describe that mistake and hopefully get to the Buddha that's there, or the, let's say, Buddha mind, or the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. There can be a different starting point in you that's not the starting point seen as a thing. And so non-duality spoke to that in us. Yeah. And it became an answer to the mistake of spiritually seeking. Yeah. Inherently, because you are of spirit. So if you are of that which you're seeking, I think that explains, if you're there to, if you're here to and available for that to land, it will land. It will land the ridiculousness of trying to get to where you already are. Yeah. Because the only way you would want to get to where you already are is believing that you're not there, or that you were there and you did something fucking super stupid, and then you're not there now, and now you have to go through an arduous return thing to arrive there. Yeah. So there has to be an illusory idea that constantly drives that desire to arrive at where you already are. And by watching it and seeing it as not you, it verifies the message. Yeah, because the message is be still. And then what can't be still obviously cannot be of you. If the message is be still, all right, sit there. And then as time goes, certain things can't be still. They pop like a popcorn maker, and and some of them want to return to the popcorn. They want to return to being a corn, whatever it is, a kernel. It's too late, like they say about the pickle and the what you call it. The pickle can't turn back to the cucumber. The cucumber can maybe delay becoming the pickle, but once the pickle, it can't be turned back to a cucumber. But the beautiful news is you're only appearing to be a pickle. Yeah. It's seeming to the pickle that you're a pickle, but you haven't lost the sense of the cucumber. Hasn't been affected. You can live as if it isn't true that you're the cucumber, but that can only last for 80 years at most, 90 years. You get the head runs out. It's a finite loop. It just, like it's happening now to a lot of people with dementia and shit. Their head loop, the tape is getting too loose. You know, when you had the trouble with the cassette tapes, you had played them so long that you had to try to tighten them, and it just go big gaps, and you'd have to remember the, whole lot of love chorus, because the whole, and you couldn't tighten the tape. Yeah, you'd have the pencil, and you just, all right, and it was too got stretched too much. The beautiful news about that, now it's a hallelujah that you see the tape has been stretched too much. And you realize there's a whole other song playing that you were missing while you were trying to get this thing tighter and listening to it. There's another song, and your ear may be much more joyous hearing that message than the message you're trying to hear with this old, like, loose tape. Yeah. So non-duality is just that, not two. Luckily, it's not 80. You'd have to make a real commitment if it was not 80, but it's not two. So you see what you're not, and then you see something that says it's seeing what you're not. So you see what you're not, And then something that plays a subject, you see this as an object. The thing that plays a subject says it's seeing it as an object, and then you see that as the subject, and you're not that. And you are now in the event of not two. Yeah. Oh, Paul with all these vices and selfishness. Okay, I'm not that. And then something, when you recognize you're not that, says it sees that, and you're not that. There's two not that's, that's all. Yeah. Once the subject is seen as an object, it appears as a subject again. That's what happens. Once, without knowing it, it's the subject, then you learn something. Now you know it, it's an object. It now goes, I'm the one who knows it. Yeah. I'm the one who learned about this object called Paul, and now I'm seeing it as a separate, untouchable subject, seeing Paul, but it's the same. Yeah. The one that sees Paul and the one that's seen as Paul is neither. That's not two. A lot of people get not one, but it doesn't work well. You get not one, and then you try to control the one that you're not, the object, and it doesn't fucking listen. Yeah. And you make vows and you sweat your prayers and you do this and you do that. And it there's an assumption that you have some say over it, but it doesn't act like you have some say over it. Yeah. So when you finally learn about what you're not, you're going to learn about what you're not it's like a two-sided class. Yeah. Okay. Without knowing it, the subject of my life is now seen. Oh, motherfucker, I see that. Thank God I'm not that, or I cannot be that, or I can be a better that than not that. Yeah. And that which is now talking, I see is not me either. And there you go. You've seen both. You've seen, if you only see one side of the coin, you're going to be paying for the other side of the coin. If you see both sides of the coin, you're going to travel lighter through that currency, to tell you the truth. Yeah. The head will continue doing what it does. The head is never going to get that it's not you. It's not. Yeah. If you're going to pray, please, worship, do anything, it can't. It's not AI, it's a program. You're running into a program. You're running into an interpretation of life that really is a rewind. Like in AA, we have the biggest thing that kills most alcoholics. Yeah, is resentment. And so if you look at the Latin root of resentment, re is to do again, feel again, and sentare is to sense or refeel. So resentment is a refeeling. Yeah. So you're walking around, you see something that the head says, that reminds me, and then you feel something. Yeah, so you refeel it. That would be called what they call resentment. Well, the whole system is re. You're rethinking, you're refeeling, you're redoing, you're rehashing, on and on. It's just going re. Yeah. And we're living in an interpretation. Yeah. Yet we're before the interpretation. Yeah. We're at the point of contact. We're actually before the point of contact. Then there's contact, conscious contact, and then the head says that which is in conscious contact is you. Yeah. The you isn't before the awareness or the conscious contact, it's after. Yeah. When the conscious contact of seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching right now gets claimed by the head, then you are presented as a seer, hearer, feeler, taster, toucher, but the seer is always after the seeing. There is no seer. There's seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. The head claims the conscious contact and says it's you that's in conscious contact. And now you are the seer, the hearer, the feeler, the taster, the doer, the thinker, the winner, the loser, the haver, the this and that. And now the life of verbing becomes a noun verb. And again, this is non-duality. The non-duality of a noun verb life is that there is no noun and verb. Yeah. There's verbing, but there's no noun and verb. There's no you and doing shit. There's just doing shit, and the head says it's you. Beautiful. So now you recognize that this trick is time-based. Without time, none of the shenanigans would go on. Without time, that which is after could not be before. That which comes after the seeing could not be seen as before it. It couldn't. But in time, it can go what comes after is that which is before. And this is what happens with the statement of the great Ramana Maharshi. Yeah, you like the hummingbirds, yeah. It's really, it already shit on your head a couple of times. That's very, very incredible grace, a lot of grace. You should actually give up your seat and give it to Chris so he can get some hummingbird shit. Ross, some people call it nectar. You can catch it. Then you'd be a special person. Jeff got shitted on by a hummingbird. You're even looking better. Yeah, I like that. You've been sitting every time you come now, you sit underneath there. You're like you're the wisest one here. Everyone else is here. You go right to the hummingbird seat. That's good. Yeah. So yes, simple presentation. What's thinking as you right now is not. Yeah. The you that you take yourself to be is never going to see that you. You are not going to get out of you. No way. Yeah. This is what happens. When the you gets caught, it immediately objectifies some of itself and now talks to you as the subject. Yeah. But it's the same. It was an object. As long as it's not noticed, then it becomes the subject, and now it's the noticer of it. Yeah. That's not two. So you see one, bingo, and then when it does its second move, you catch it. Yeah. You don't even catch it. You're before it anyway. You're aware, and you've seen all of this. You have seen the manufacturing of you. You've seen it. Every one of us has seen it. We just go to sleep. We are just dreaming in forgetfulness. Yeah. But once you hear this message and you start becoming suspicious of that which is suspicious, yes, it just falls into place. And it can be to me, it became the last answer in this topic. And to me, the last answer takes away the need for any other answer. It's a fucking great answer. Yeah. And instead of trying to liberate, you realize you're liberated from the need to be liberated. Yeah. You're liberated from the need to get it. You're liberated from a lot of these false bondages. You really are. And then there's when the handcuffs are offered, there's a possibility of not putting them on. Yeah, there's no choice, but there's a possibility but most people, they forget the handcuff being offered and they come to with them on already. Yeah. In this case, you can see that which has the handcuffs is not you. So you're not trying to get out of it or where's that key? You realize all of this stuff isn't you. You don't have any basis of what you are other than the seeing of what you're not, really. You can't tell how big you are. Or it's not on the pay scale, but you can get an intimacy of what you are by seeing what you're not. Yeah. And you will see what you're not all day. You won't have to ask. You won't need a rosary to remember or chant. It will be there right in front of you. And if you sit with a simple invitation, be still, watch what can't be still. And what can't be still mustn't be of you. Yeah. If something constantly keeps looking for what you are, it ain't what you are, obviously. Yeah. I mean, if it's constantly looking for what you are, it's not getting it. Yes. It's because it's only seeing from what you're not. That's the only way it can see. And many people spend a lot of time trying to change that. I believe it's pointless. I believe it's all mechanical. There's no you that's choosing anything. Yeah. It's just something the head arises, erases what's before it. Yeah. And then you now, instead of having a sense of conscious contact, you're Paul. And then from there, there's no turning back. It's just going as Paul. Yeah. Now I want to get a better Paul or the authentic Paul or the this Paul. It just goes on and on. But what you are is what's looking right now. What is that difficult to chew? You're going to be brought to the point of non-duality. Why not just be brought to it through satsang? It's the easiest off the way. Yeah. If there is a way to realize you don't need to go on a retreat, that's going on a lot of retreats. So you may have to go on 30 retreats to get the message. You don't need to go on a retreat. Yeah. But again, you could hear it here and then maybe save yourself some time. Yeah. But a friend of ours, he came and how he got convinced he didn't need to be at a retreat, he was at a retreat. And he's paid $2,000 and he realized, I don't have to do this again. Great. It was worth the money. Yeah. We could save you a little bit. And then you could donate 20% of that 2,000 to Zen Bitch Slap. So, so we can go on a vacation. Screw the retreat. We're going on a vacation. So, yeah. I hope that isn't helpful, but something will hear it. Yes. Yeah. It's there is not a dualistic planet. Yeah. Duality is a very important aspect of things here, just for like 101-ness of what's going on. Yes, there is male, female, night, day, this, that. So that isn't how things are. That's how we see them. So if you were seeing from dualism, how you would see would be dualistically. Yeah. If you were seeing from singularity, you would see singularity. Yeah. This is what people sometimes, when they get that event, they see everything is one, but it's very rare and vague, and it doesn't get established that well. Yeah. Because there's the you thinking they got it. Yeah. But if this is whatever this, well, it's taken in, but let's say this going on is a view is being projected on it, which is a dualistic view stemming from a dualism condition. Yes. So the misunderstanding and mixing existence with a thing is sort of like taking the flute as that which played the note. Yeah. So the flute can produce a note, it doesn't play a note. It doesn't make the note. There's got to be breath, there's got to be existence through that flute for any note to come out of that flute. Yeah. But in this case, the flute is self-centered and it thinks it's the one that's playing the notes. Yeah. So the same thing. We're more like the flute, and yet we're believing the music that's coming through it is we're making the music when it is not. Yeah. So something is moving through and then triggering it's sort of like electricity going through a blender. Yeah. The blender is not going to make toast. Yeah. But the toast, that which makes the toast and the blender is driven by the same electricity. But the electricity's, its manifestations is based on what it's put in. So if the electricity goes through a blender, it can make a smoothie. If it's gone through a toaster, it makes toast. Yeah. It doesn't, I haven't seen one with it makes toast and a blender and shit like that. It'd probably be a huge fucking thing, you know. But basically, but the electricity is the fuel of it all. So the existence, let's say, is sort of like the electricity, and the existence is triggering the blender called Rosalind, the toaster called Jeff, or maybe the hummingbird urinal, and this and that and that. Yeah. And so, of course, Jeff's sitting there thinking Jeff is the cause of all Jeffness, doesn't want to share some about it. It may tell, doesn't feel good about that, what Jeff seemingly did years ago, whatever, blah, 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 on and on. And then the story could be so much bigger, is all about Jeff. Yeah. Now, yet the toaster called Paul doesn't see the importance of Jeff as much as Jeff sees the importance of Jeff. So each appliance in the kitchen thinks they're the most important appliance. You don't want to try a blender in the toaster, it's not going to work. So the non-existent thing is the blender. It seems to be an existent thing when existence is put through it, like electricity. But let's not believe that the blender is what's alive. The blender doesn't move at all unless you put the on button. Yeah. We are, the on button has been pushed. Maybe it's going to last a few more years. And so the non-existent thing has the electricity. So it looks like it's existing. Yeah. But that electricity is going to be cut off. And then you're going to see, how long do you keep a blender that's not blending? Yeah. Or, oh, this is my favorite toaster. Can I have, no, I can't make toast anymore, but I have so many, no. Sooner or later, you're going to meet someone that don't have the same affiliation. Get rid of that fucking toaster. I need some toast. I want avocado toast. I need it. I can't live on a memory. So get rid of that fucking thing. Yes. But all the while, there was such an enamoring with the blender. But wasn't it because it was blending? Yeah. The living was what was attractive, not the thing that that living was coming through. Have you seen how attractive people can become unattractive over time? Another Radiohead's music song, Gravity never loses. Yeah. Gravity always wins. So if you work out 40, 50 years and then these things drop, where you thought for the 40 years at first, then the duality of it. You wanted it all up, it goes down. So you wear long sleeve shirts, maybe tape it with duct tape. You can't get out of it in a sense. But the great news is you're not in it. That's the great news. The great news, no matter what's going on, you have an immunity to, because you're not of it. You are of a different quality than what we're appearing in. Yes. And I found the peace that comes from the of can't be found in the in. It can be expressed in the in. You can observe its effects in the in, but it can't be found in the in. It comes from the of. As Jesus says, you're in this world, but you're not of this world. So if this world is a world of appearance, then if you follow his logic, then you're not an appearance. Yeah. So you are never going to appear only to disappear. You've never appeared, in a sense. What you are has never been seen. Yeah, you can sense it, you can pick it up, you can feel it, but yeah. So that to me is non-duality. Whatever believes it owns things is seen as not you, instead of trying to disown that which thinks it owns everything. Yeah, trying to convince it not to own shit. You lose all interest in that. You just see whatever package you're presented as you're not that. Yeah. So if you need a whole lot of work, great. You probably won't do anything. You just you'll lose a lot of interest. And yeah, you just be the better for it. You'll be able to travel lighter. This You know, the head is like a magnifying glass. It magnifies. So if you are the topic or the object of concern all day, that magnification is cooking a lot of stuff in you, mutating shit. Yes. Light is much better felt dispersed usually than focused and concentrated. It's being dispersed. You see more by looking at less. Yeah, you're looking at less, but you see more. Yeah, you get more of a taste of a panoramic view instead of a myopic view, hoping for the day it becomes panoramic. Yes, you just see the futility of that. The myopic view is never going to transform into a panoramic view. Just not. Yeah. But there's a panoramic view before the myopic view. It's not a heaven to arrive at, it's a heaven you're already in. So the panoramic contains the myopic. It's not against it or anything. The myopic can't imagine the panoramic. It dreams of it, but it can only dream of it like a myopic. Yes. The panoramic includes the myopic. So you'll see what you're not. There's not an argument or a fight. Yeah. And you'll see what it takes to be important and let it take it to be important when it's not important. Yeah. And then you now see you not through a myopic view, but a panoramic view. And what you couldn't brook or put up with as you, there's a lot of leniency. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's a great relief from the body. The body does not do well as a constant object of attention. It just doesn't. Yeah. A lot of times you're wanting to be well is the illness, truly. Yeah. So I recognize that early, that my head, when this head put a lot of attention on a subject, it mutated the subject and it turned it into the exact opposite. My desire to be healthy kept me ill for quite a while. It was trippy. You would assume that your best interest would produce the best results, but my best interests don't produce the best results. Yeah. It's much better for Paul to be sent around the corner for as long as possible while life goes on. Yeah. Yeah. Now, the head would never have thought that. Truly never. The head is always including its own importance in everything. Yeah. And you can see this. And if you have an understanding how to react when you see it, you can greet it as not you. Yeah. And you don't have to whistle for the interest and attention that's been wedded to that obsession. It will leave and migrate. And now the interest and attention that used to enslave you in the head that day will enrich your day. You'll be open to see the hummingbirds and everything else. And this is a very beautiful temperature right now, at least for this old body. Yeah. Nothing to complain about. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, and usually you don't notice anything when they're okay. Yeah, when it's okay, it's when it's every time I go to AA meetings, they always are talking the topic of acceptance because everyone believes they're not accepting. So they say, let's talk about acceptance. Only when you're not in non-acceptance are you wanting to talk about acceptance. When you're in acceptance, you don't notice it. Yeah. Just like if you're humble, you don't notice you're humble. That's part of the humility is that you're not being noticed every second day and noted for the condition you're in. You lose interest in you. Yeah. And then this fucking place just flies by, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. It just does. It just flies by. You can't, once you try to write it, you miss jot it down. No, it just goes. Yeah? It's like trying to take a picture of a mural. Yeah. And trying to take a picture as part of the mural. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I hope no one understood anything we said here. today. And if you keep coming back, you're really going to get it. You're really going to get it, not through understanding. Yeah. All right. Anyone have any questions?
Kathy from Cleveland, Paul.
Come
Unmute,
on.
Kath. There you go.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Paul. You know, I don't know, but a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago, I remember I said to you how I come to these non-duality meetings and I felt like, it hurts my brain. Like I'm trying so hard to understand. And I kind of thought that's my problem, is that I'm trying to understand. I just need to listen and it'll eventually land. And do you remember what you said to me?
No.
You said, and you won't be there. And I did not know what you meant at the moment, but I think I do. But even that is just me doing more understanding, kind of, right?
Well, it's not you doing more understanding.
Okay.
It's not you doing more understanding.
Okay. All right.
You're not doing shit. You're
Yeah.
simple. Yeah. If awareness is a doing, you're constantly doing awareness. Yeah. That's the end of the road. It's the beginning of the road. You can't go farther back. Yeah. When they do science and they are studying everything, but they can't study the studying. Yeah. It would always be studying. They can't, we can't get before it. We're in the we're the afterlife, so to speak. Yeah. And we have some strange ideas that we can arrive at the before. You can't. Yeah. So that which wants to understand is not you. That which can't understand is not you. That which is saying it's now the one that sees it, can't understand, that's not you. Yeah. Really, it's not like this is not a trick where you go, not you, and then you.
Yeah.
No, you don't arrive at a fucking you. It's not like, oh, there's eight fake yous, not you, not you, not you. You, no, there's no you at the end of the line. It's just not you. That's it. That's the only greeting you're going to have with things you see. Subtle or crude, it's not you. That's it. There's never, oh, I finally, I've traveled through the forest of not you. The last not you, a vista opened. And then on the horizon, there was a choir of you. No, that's not available. That would be edited, not you.
I'll never arrive.
Let me present it. No, Father, a higher mountain. You bring in the edit, not you. When am I going to be where I stand? Never. What are you standing in? You. When am I going to be where I stand? Never. Yeah. You don't have to get it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Frustrating that thing that wants to get it. Yeah. Yes. I feel like I get thoroughly frustrated where you sit. So you've been very successful. Super frustrated. The head wants to understand why it can't understand.
Right.
There you go. You seeing the emperor with no clothes. It's coming out of the shower. Don't give it a towel. just check it out in all of its naked fucking repetition. Don't give it a shower. There you go. And then you'll see that the emperor has no clothes, no matter how many clothes it's wearing. Yeah. This isn't the end, is not seeing the emperor with no clothes. The end is knowing the emperor has no clothes while it's wearing a lot of clothes. That's the end. The end is not seeing the emperor with no clothes. Many of us have seen the emperor with no clothes. Yeah, many. It just gets dragged under through time and repetition. But this is an understanding that when you see the emperor, you see it no matter how much clothing it's wearing, you see it as having no clothes. Yeah. In other words, whatever clothes it's wearing isn't it's anyway. Yeah. It has no clothes. The not you has none of you. None. It's naked of you. That's the adhesion with its mental skin sticking on this idea of you. Yeah. So there's never going to be a day that you've gone through the forest of not you and you arrived at you. Yeah. So it says beautifully, events happen, deeds are done. No one can be in argument with that. Can you? Nobody. Christian, whatever, Mormon, fucking capitalist. Events happen, deeds are done. We're all in, yes, all in agreement. Yes, this is an event. Yeah, it's happening. Deeds are being done. The dog is doing shit and stuff, and a shit. All this, yeah. And then here comes the message. Yet there's no individual doer thereof. Yeah. So feel the familiarity. Events happen, deeds are done. Yes. Feel it. Yeah, yeah. And now here comes the message. And yet there is no individual doer thereof. Wow. So first, just sense the familiarity. Yeah. And then hear the message. And that familiarity that feeds on the familiarity of what's going on will stand out when it hears there is no individual doer thereof. So events happen, deeds are done. And then there's a gluing of a familiarity as you being part of the events and the deeds. Yes. So there's familiarity and it sort of goes with that familiarity and sneaks in there. It's you. So there's got to be a doer of the deeds and an attendant of the event. Yeah. So events happen, deeds are done. Come on in. That's true. Now this guy gets right close to you and walks in, gets in there. The you. Oh, now we're at the non-dual club. The non-dual club, the greeter, no. Events happen, deeds are done. Yes. Do it new. Events happen, deeds are done. Yes, but there is no individual doer thereof. The whole idea of being an individual, whose life would it be anyway if you weren't the doer of it? It's essential for it to believe it's the doer. It's essential, the claiming of life, to imply that it's the one who has a life. It doesn't have anything to stand on. Yeah, it's made up. If you look at it, seeing happens. Seer. For seeing to occur, is there's essential to be a seer? No, not at all. Has no 0.1 bit. Yeah. Is it essential for seeing to be there if there's a seer? Most definitely. There is no seer without the claiming of seeing. There is seeing without a seer, but there is no seer without the claiming of seeing. There's no claiming of the noun without the claiming of the verb. There is no noun. It doesn't come out of itself. It's made up. It claims the life of the verb and implies it to the noun. And now you see everything from a noun point of view. And you can't understand the verbing. So you're wondering why this is fucking happening to me and it ain't happening to the other person. I should have something better happening to me. And you, I know what you fucking done. You should have something worse happen to me. And it gets very, very confusing because you're based on a point of confusion. There is no noun. Yeah. There's a great thing put with me. I may have changed the New Testament, but the way I remembered it, there was a parable where there's a guy who has a farm and it's harvesting time. Yeah. So he goes to like the union hall and he hires a guy to help him at 9 in the morning. and he's going to pay him $50 for the day. All right. So they're working. Around 11, he realizes he needs some more people. He goes back to the union hall, and he hires a guy to work from 12 to 5 for $50. Yeah. All right. So now he's working, and the guy who's getting 50 from 9 to 5 has got a little resentment to the guy getting 50 from 12 to 5 because he's working 3 more hours. Yeah. From this point of view, yes. All right. About 2 o'clock, the guy realizes I need another guy. Won't be able to get it done in time. So he goes to the union hall, gives the guy $50 for like 2 hours. Now both the other guys are pissed off. Yeah. No, I started 9, I started 12. This guy comes in at 2:30. He's getting the same amount of money, but he's just talking about, he's trying to imply the insanity of time. Yes. Yeah. The one guy that was there longer thought he deserves more, but the agreement was $50. Made the agreement, $50, 3 o'clock to 5, $50. Yeah. The first shall be last, all this stuff. It's all about fucking with time because the head is thriving in time. It gives a lot of its judgments and its opinions based on time. Yeah. On and on and on, because this is a magic trick. You come after. The living starts before you. You are an afterthought by claiming the event of living. The head claims it and makes it you living. And now the emphasis goes all on you at the expense of the living. I've seen it. You've seen it. You know, we are awake. All of us are awake. The obsession with you is really like a sleeping pill. It's like a tranquilizer. It puts you out to lunch, literally. And therefore, you start believing the after is before. And now the before, you make a goal you want to arrive at after. So you want to arrive at where you never left as like a future event called heaven or something, or transcendence, but you are of the transcendence already. So it mimics it, and it makes the before after, and now you're looking to arrive at where you already are. And it's expecting a parade. The centeredness, the self-centeredness is expecting a big fucking shit. Look at me. This happens with people in AA. They think we should have got a badge for stop drinking. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you grew up? You want a fucking badge, a statue? I've been working my whole life, not acting out. You want a badge because you stopped drinking? This self-centeredness is insane. So yeah, I've had enough. Yeah. If you see it, you won't be looking from it. What does that mean? There is a you that's going to be looking from it. If you see it, you won't be that you that's looking from it. Will there be a seeming you looking from it? Yes, but you will see that. You will be aware of that which you used to look from. I can't promise what it's going to bring about. I would expect it's going to produce a traveling lighter while you're seemingly in this action figure mode. Yeah. And as an action figure, really, what more do you want? Yeah. Your idea of traveling lighter is everything's going to go your way is not going to happen. You're traveling lighter that you're going to get everything you want. Probably not going to happen. You're lucky if you don't get everything you want, because then you'll really be fucking empty. Because it's probably not going to work the way you thought it was going to work. Yes. So here, but maybe you can just travel lighter through whatever life has in store for you. Not bad. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going through whatever old age. You're getting old. Yeah. Whatever that means. It's a trip. You can wake up and you can't remember how you hurt yourself. Something hurts, but you had absolutely nothing to do with it. You're like, wow, what did I do? Nothing. You're just aging. The way you wake up in the morning, I mean, you should have a therapist right at the bedside. Should I stay or should I go? Oh, uh, it's a trip, man. Wow. All right. Well, anyone have any questions in the Zoom?
Dana's got his hand up, Paul.
Who?
Dana?
Oh, Dana.
Dana?
Dana.
Come on in. Come on in, Dana. Unmute, bud.
I'm
There you
unmuted.
go.
I'm a she. But I don't know how to turn my video on. It won't turn on.
Okay.
That's okay. So this is I don't know, probably the rawest I've ever been with this question. So 5 years ago I got COVID and it turned into long COVID. And then I was already kind of on the spiritual path, but then when you can't move and I've lost everything as a single mom, the whole story, blah, blah, blah. But it's 5 years later and I've lost 25 pounds. So I'm like 95 pounds and I don't want to eat. I'm totally at peace with this of just letting go. The people around me are bugging me. Because there's nobody that's gone before me who's had this. Like it's because it's a new disease to know like your life expectancy or how long to hold on, or do I keep going to doctors, so, but what you just said, it's just, and the point is I feel guilty that I've let so much go and I still feel sick.
Well, again, that which is feeling guilty isn't you. So that will take a lot of the steam out of it. Yes?
Yeah.
And then the other stuff, I don't have an intimacy with it. But sometimes something else is speaking through the people that are telling you what to do. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes there may be something to listen to. Who knows? Yeah, but I don't know the situation. All I can know is a dynamic around it. And of course, the head is going to be claiming the conditions you're in and broadcasting its future ideas of what it's going to mean. And it's going to play God with what's on the plate of the action figure, the disease and its effects. The head is obviously going to claim whatever it comes into contact with to use for its advantage. So it takes pain and it uses it to produce suffering out of it. Pain comes with the program, pain comes with this experience, but the suffering, at least the length and the weight of it is optional. Yeah. So, but I don't know exactly what it would be like to feel long-term COVIDness. But the other people, some people, they're just probably having a sense of regard for you, and of course, it may be going through the head. So, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I don't know if just come back if you like. Again, what we're speaking here as a byproduct, it isn't the target, but as a byproduct, I've seen the action figure has traveled lighter. And that means with physical, because I was run over by a car and I've had from that 1 minute event, it's affected me ever since 40 something years physically. So I know a lot about the touch and go and stuff and about pain and the mental claiming of it all leading to suffering. And you can be relieved of that suffering for sure. Yeah, without being relieved of the pain. It can be diminished a little and you'll travel lighter through it. Yeah. So if you want to come back and then ask the question earlier and we could speak more about it. But yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll
Yeah.
be back. I'll be back.
Great. Yes. Anyone else, John?
I don't see any other hands, Paul.
Oh, well. Hey, let's say goodbye then. We've got Kathy, Cleveland. I'm going to give you the best news. You're never going to get it, Kathy. I can look at you straight in the eyes and guarantee it. You're never going to get it. Roxanne, nice to see you. Yes, Vlad. Nice to see you, Vlad. Yeah. Open up the coffers. Wise is waiting. Ben, Kansas. Nice to see you, Ben. Yeah. Mary Champagne. Next, she's next with Honesty, Dana Honesty. Angelica, thank you. Johannes, Johannes has been with us since the birthing of the Zoom. Nice to see you, bro. Keith, as always. Hey, honey, can you get the shirt? It's up on the table there. Keith sent us a very nice shirt that he made before. These are collector's item. No. Let's
I just sent the 3 sizes. I figured you keep
yeah.
one or two for yourself and then just give away.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
This is the famous, and it has a beautiful little Zen silhouette in the back. Very nice. Self can't get out of self, bro. We've answered, yeah. We got the bro. Well, thank you, Keith.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
All right. We got Richard down in England. Richard used to put me up at his house in London when we used to go there for talks. Him and his wife were great hosts. Took care of me very well. Thank you. Paula, nice to see you. I can't see you, but you were there at one point. Stephen Mack on Having Never Left. Mike S. Angelica, I said goodbye, eh? Yes, nice to see you. Chris H. He's going to be gearing up for Christmas in a couple of weeks. Yeah. Mike S. John's been with us too from the beginning, I think. Roman Mueller. Yes. My main man in Germany. John, Florida. Elisa, Pennsylvania. Robert Crossman. Keep coming back, bro. Rick Rowe, Toronto, Saraswati. There she is. Nice to see you. Susan Harris. Hari. She's
Paul.
at a retreat. She's in there.
I'm in the dark.
Just speaking from a dark retreat with us. Sebastian, nice to see you. Let me go to the second page. James Melnick. Have I met you before, James? Yes.
We've talked a couple of times. I followed you a lot, but I often catch the reruns on YouTube.
Oh, great. Eric, SoCal. Feeling better? Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, great. Sebastian. I think I got everyone. Hey, listen, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, the satsang is awesome. We capture it in recovery with a loving presence expresses itself through our group conscience. It's the underlying theme of satsang. It's quite nice. All right. Well, thank